Taco Bell. Taco Bell's in the news. I find that my Google feed, every time I look at my phone, because I've looked up Taco Bell so much, it turns out that my phone has tricked Google into thinking that I'm interested in Taco Bell to the point where I like hearing news about it on a daily basis. So my feed's always inundated by that and of age bear porn. But today we have a little bit of a hot double story from two of my favorite fast food establishments. One is Domino's and the other one is Taco Bell. Taco Bell is the greatest restaurant of all time. Right now my mouth is watering thinking of potentially going to Taco Bell, getting a chicken quesadilla. You know what? Getting 2 Frito burritos, hold back the sauce, put in some onions in that bitch. All right. Shredded chicken quesadilla. Again, hold back the sauce, put some onions in that bitch. Let me get that Starburst strawberry freeze. And you know what? You got yourself a meal, dog. You got yourself a post-workout meal. You're going to get huge in a good way. So here we have a story out of Spartansburg, South Carolina on Wednesday, where a customer at a Taco Bell drive-thru apparently didn't appreciate what the smoking gun calls a paucity of meat. A paucity of meat. I still have no idea what the fuck that means. On his Mexican pizza. So it's a scarcity, a lack of meat, apparently, on his Mexican pizza. A police report indicates that a suspect who is still at large, this guy's still at large in the Spartansburg area, so watch out if you're a fast food employee. So this customer who's still at large entered the store angry because of the supposed lack of meat in his meal, and an employee tried to make him another one. He still wasn't satisfied. That's when, per the report, the suspect headed behind the counter and into the kitchen, where he proceeded to put together his own Mexican pizza before taking off. And here's the part that killed me when I read this story. It's the employee who filed the complaint said the suspect did not follow proper health/safety guidelines, including wearing gloves. That's the complaint. That seems to be the takeoff here. Not the fact that this man jumped the counter, went to the back, and made himself his own Mexican pizza. You know, I've been tempted to do that at some fast food establishments, just because it. And don't get me wrong. Listen, I am pedestrian of the century. I've said this 100 times before. If it's my right of way and I could walk across the street, I'm running across that bitch. I am stopping on every stop sign. I'm looking both ways, clearly to a fault because I got hit by a fucking car. I am Mr. Fucking precision when it comes to the speed limits. All right. I am as good of a citizen as I could possibly be. However, at some fast food establishments, it's like downtown Beirut in some of them. And I don't mean that when it's busy, because I understand that when it's busy, you know, it gets a little bit hard. Obviously, you have to attend to all these customers. You have to make all these orders. You have to attend to the drive-thru. You still have to make sure that everything's clean. You know, there's a lot of things that you got to deal with. But I've been to some fast food restaurants where I'm pretty much the only person there, and the order still took about a year to make. And when I got it, it was fucking disgusting, frigid. It was bland. It's almost like they probably used the old stuff to make that. That was a KFC, actually a couple KFCs that I've been to. Never a Taco Bell, but a couple KFCs, a couple Mickey D's, where it's been barren of any life. I go in there and they managed to take the same amount of time to make a good quality steak than to make a cheeseburger. So you know what? I felt like jumping the counter at some points, going in the back and making my own shit. Just being like, this is how you make it. This is how you make it. You know, channeling my inner black angst, my inner angry black man. But in this case, this guy did it. This guy did it. But you know what? I feel like there is definitely something wrong with this guy. Not because he went to the back, not because he has anger issues, but because he got a Mexican pizza. A Mexican pizza is probably the worst thing you could get at Taco Bell. If you get a Mexican pizza from Taco Bell, no doubt do you eat ass. No doubt do you partake in disgusting, depraved acts, such as ass eating or other nefarious acts that should just be fucking banned. They poop out of there. They poop out of there. All right. I love ass, but there's a limit, you know? So this guy got Mexican pizza, which is the anal eating of Taco Bell, and he decided to make one, which is kind of impressive because that's also one of the I don't know how to make a Mexican pizza. I've never seen one in front of me. I've seen one across from me because somebody ordered it, and they definitely eat ass. But I've never actually seen a Mexican pizza. It just looks repulsive. I wouldn't know how to make one, so that's actually impressive. The next story is out of St. Paul, Minnesota, where a mother and daughter were arrested after police say they got ired over delivery from Domino's that didn't include hot wings that they supposedly ordered. Per the Pioneer Press, cops were called to the eatery around 9 p.m. Thursday on a complaint that customers had pointed a handgun at workers. Staff told police that the couple had come in upset about allegedly missing hot wings, which is when the gun came into play. Police were able to easily track down Holly Jo Robinson, 59, and her daughter, Lakea Micheline Robinson, 20. There's definitely inbreeding going on there. I just want to say that right now based on those names and the range of age there. That tells me that there's definite inbreeding going on there. By going to the delivery address, that's actually fucking hysterical. Like, they were found immediately because they delivered it to the home. So therefore, they're going to go back to the house. Are you fucking... Yeah, there's definitely inbreeding. You can't be that fucking retarded without some sort of inbreeding. So the younger Robinson says her mom brought the gun because she was afraid that there'd be trouble. But she added her mom never pointed at anyone. Both Robinsons were charged with making terroristic threats and suspicion of aggravated robbery, though Lakia was released based on insufficient evidence. Insufficient evidence? There's fucking cameras inside of Domino's. They're telling me that they don't have cameras inside of this fucking Domino's. You know, I've also had an incident with Domino's. I remember I used to live about maybe 3 blocks away from Domino's. And I got a delivery order, which was, again, my bad. I should have gotten a pickup. But you have to cross a bridge. It's a little bit of a weird place to get to. But it's still relatively close by car. So I ordered delivery from this Domino's. And about 3 hours later, they called me asking me if I still wanted the pizza. Yeah, I still wanted the pizza. The fuck? 3 hours later. And then I read reviews on Google Maps saying that they're the slowest, that they don't necessarily cook your shit. They'll just, they'll deliver a raw pizza. And then that some people have tested them by making a delivery and then going to the store and seeing what it is that they do and sitting in the parking lot like a psycho. But that they saw the people inside, just eating shit, not really cooking, on the phone, laughing, sitting down, texting, as opposed to actually doing anything. So that actually makes sense as to why I got my pizza about 3.5 hours later. It was cold too. It was fucking awful. Cunts. But to the point where I would go in there with a gun because of hot wings. Because of hot wings from Domino's. That's another thing that just ravishes my mind. It's a pizza place. Order pizza from it. Don't get hot wings from Domino's. That's fucking disgusting. What are you gonna get, a sub? You're gonna get one of those melted cheese subs that came in a van from Cisco, and they put that shit in the microwave. They nuke it for 20 minutes in the microwave, and then it gets back to you. No, fuck that. Disgusting. Definite inbreeding if you order hot wings from Domino's. So I just found those 2 stories interesting as far as fast food shenanigans are concerned. I still hold truth to the fact that Taco Bell is the greatest restaurant of all time. People tend to say, no, have you ever even been to a restaurant? Yeah. And I still think Taco Bell is the greatest restaurant of all time. Over any one of these, like, fancy fucking, just for the consistency of their food and their reliability in terms of giving you a good fat meal for the value. I think Taco Bell is the greatest restaurant of all time. I own a lot of Taco Bell merch. I have 2 jackets. I plan to get some sweatpants from Taco Bell once I actually heal this fucking leg up. But that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to bring back a little bit of the hot news segment here. Put it back. Throw it back, as they say. I'm going to go figure out different ways to use a Sharpie pen as a fill dough. As a fill dough.